Please welcome Shayne La Combre to make some final comments.
Thanks, mate. Well done.
Thanks, Bill.
Excellent. Thank you. Well, these are the conference champions. You've made it through lunchtime Friday. What a tremendous effort. And I certainly do want to thank everyone. But it is time to draw WPC 2019 to a close. It does seem incredible that we're now concluding what's been a terrific conference. The quality of the presentations has frankly been overwhelming. There's been so much on offer over these past 3 days from our speakers, presenters, exhibitors, and most of all, our participants. I'd like you to join me in showing our appreciation for those who've presented at the event, travelled long distances to be here, and those who have worked so hard behind the scenes to make it all run smoothly. Thanks, everybody. I do want to thank all our sponsors. Without their support, the WPC, which is not a not-for-profit organisation, could not bring the world of plumbing together as we have in Melbourne this week. And it is vitally important that we keep coming together. We keep sharing our challenges, the innovation and the different ways we're addressing them. As we've heard over the past few days, the challenges we will face in terms of water safety and security are enormous. In terms of sanitation, while progress is being made, in some parts of the world the challenges are only getting more complex as the climate changes. In this era of rapid change in both economically advanced and developing economies and regions, plumbing holds the keys to our capacity to adapt. Strong and robust plumbing industries built around a framework of the 4 pillars of plumbing can help keep the community safe from disease and can really drive and facilitate positive community and economic outcomes. This is where forums like this become so important. When I reflect on the key takeouts from the conference, I think a series of themes have re-emerged. First, I thought all through the conference I was nothing short of confronted by the span of life-threatening issues we're involved with as an industry. I guess everyone is familiar with the image, and we've heard through the conference different takes: doctors cure, plumbers prevent. But I think something gets lost in the actual pain, suffering and tragedy that sits behind these sentiments and the consequences going on around us. I was starkly reminded yesterday, and for those of you who were in here yesterday afternoon, it was an absolute horror show in here. What happens when we fail? What happens when the community is not able to access the plumbing standard it needs? We heard from Vanessa Robinson, a very heroic presentation on the dangers of gas appliances. Captain Backflow took us through some very chilling installations, the threats of asbestos and Legionella. So I'd be foolish to stay in a hotel, eat in a restaurant, or have my hair cut at the hairdressers. It reminded me that it's not that this sort of image is not just that this sort of it reminded me that this sort of image is not just a clever statement from an industry that is rightly proud about what it does. It's also standing between people contracting awful diseases and illnesses unnecessarily through adulterated water. Someone dying in unthinkable pain, succumbing to burns, or at least ending up with a lifetime of scarring and disability. Or the incomprehensible tragedy of putting your 2 children to bed safely at home and saying goodnight to them for the last time. I was reminded of all the lives of the people we protect and how harsh no or poor plumbing is. We've heard how effective regulation in many policy areas was making a positive difference. But sadly, we also heard how in some countries, where the long-term benefits of effective policy and regulation and the consequences of getting it wrong have been forgotten. But we had the opportunity to gather and remind ourselves again of the importance of keeping the focus on our communities. There have been breakout sessions on fire protection, backflow, Legionella, that have allowed a more focused opportunity to look at the sector concerns and opportunities. I know it was great for me to think about all the challenges that we face in Australia, particularly relating to product and occupational regulation and the importance of ensuring the community is protected. But we also got a glimpse into the future and where that's heading, with exposure to new technology, and most importantly, how we're learning and exchanging knowledge. This, in many ways, is the most valuable aspect of our time together. The encouragement of knowledge exchange and the development and learning is going to be central to our ability to adapt to these challenges. We started this week at Narre Warren, a new centre dedicated to the enhancement of skill and knowledge within our industry. It was wonderful to have a focus on women in plumbing, to see much greater take-up by women entering this industry. There's much to be done in giving access to more and more industry participants and allowing them to have more and more access to quality training and knowledge sharing. It's my hope that this conference has given everyone something to help them in their development journey. One of the best conversations I had was with a colleague, was following a presentation where that person said that they've now had to rethink and had changed their view on a topic. Is there any better outcome? I'd really like to thank Rob Gell, our MC, for the conference. Rob, you did a great job keeping us all on schedule. Thank you very much. I'm very grateful to the World Plumbing Council for giving me the opportunity to serve as chair of this great organisation for the last 3 years. It's been a great honour, and I'm exceptionally proud of what we're able to do and cap off in this period with this wonderful conference here in Melbourne. It's been tremendous 3 years working together with the Executive Board, and I thank each and every one of you. I would particularly like again to thank Ken Gardner, who is retiring from the board. Ken's been instrumental in looking after the Council's financial matters, and the WPC is the better for it. I would now like to welcome the new chair of the WPC up to stage. Tom, I look forward to working with you in the next 3 years, and I'm confident that the WPC will continue its trajectory of growth under your guidance. Congratulations again. Everyone, I would now like to officially welcome the new chair of the WPC, Mr. Tom Bigley. Small handout ceremony.
Sorry, it's again the Swiss pushing in. Sorry for that, but I think time has come to introduce, first of all, the president of SwissTech, who's joined me here on stage. And I think the time has come to honor the outgoing chair of World Plumbing Council for his inspiring leadership over the last 3 years. Our appreciation is expressed by a special edition of a Swiss watch, normally exclusively reserved for outgoing board members of Swisstech, presented by Daniel Huser. Now, Tom, as new chair of the World Plumbing Council, there's also a present for you. It's a tool which you might need as chairman. It's a tool that is carried on every single American space mission. It's also a tool that is a collector's item, mostly at security checkpoints at airports. It's the Swiss pocket knife. There's actually two versions for it. One for the privates, which just has a tin opener. Of course, Tom will be getting the one for officers, which also sports a corkscrew. Tom?